overthink everything, even after reading the books, watching the videos, and planning the perfect plan. What if you could move faster by thinking less and still make smarter decisions? In this video, I'll share 6 research-backed mental shifts that pull smart people out of the stuck loop and turn your intelligence into real progress. I discovered this trap when I realized something uncomfortable. The moments I felt the smartest were often the moments I made the least progress. I was collecting ideas like trophies, but not using them. The problem is, you keep trying to think your way into clarity, when action is what creates it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to break the loop and finally move. Let's dive in. First, the clarity first lie. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Smart brains love certainty, so you tell yourself, once I'm unclear, then I'll start. But the trap is believing you must fully understand the best path before taking the first step. So you keep researching, organizing, comparing, and refining, but you don't actually begin. Your brain calls it preparation. In reality, it's delay wearing a suit and tie. And here's the twist. Too many choices can freeze you. When you have too many options, your brain starts thinking, if I pick wrong, I'll regret it. So you avoid choosing altogether. Because if you don't choose, you can't be wrong. But staying unchosen is its own cost. So what do you do instead? You replace clarity with a test. You say, I don't need the best plan. I need a small experiment. Then you use a 10-minute start rule. Not a full commitment. Not forever. Just 10 minutes. Next, you limit your inputs. One source, one method, one next step for 7 days. And you define good enough before you begin. Here's a simple line. I stop researching when I can take one physical action. Because a common mistake is waiting to feel confident. Instead, you act to create confidence. But wait, there's more to this, because the next trap is even sneakier, and it feels like productivity. Second, mental simulation addiction. Most people don't know this, but your brain can get a dopamine hit from imagining success without doing the work. You plan the perfect routine. You rehearse the perfect conversation. You redesign your schedule for the 10th time. You picture the final result in vivid detail, and you feel busy. You feel smart. But nothing changes because nothing ships. Here's why this is dangerous. Your brain doesn't fully separate vivid imagination from real progress. So your mind rewards you early before you have earned it. And smart people are especially good at creating detailed inner movies. So you confuse thinking about doing with doing. That's how weeks disappear. So how do you break it? First, catch the signal phrase. Anytime you say, I'm just thinking about, pause. Second, force a physical output. Write the first sentence, record the first take, send the first email, do the first push-up. Third, use the ugly draft rule. Your first version must be intentionally messy. Because the goal of version 1 isn't to impress. It's to exist. And fourth, end every planning session with a next action written in 7 words or less. Not a paragraph, not a strategy, a single move, because the common mistake is building a perfect system. The better move is building one imperfect rep. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I still don't follow through. Perfect. Because this brings me to the next shift. Third, the if-then escape hatch. This next one is crucial, because willpower is unreliable, and smart people don't need more motivation. You need fewer decisions. Here's the tool. An if-then plan. It's simple. If situation X happens, then I do action Y. Like, if it's 7:30 a.m., then I open my document and write 2 sentences. Or, if I finish lunch, then I take a 5-minute walk. What this does is it turns your intention into a trigger, so you don't have to debate with yourself in the moment. Because the cue shows up, and you default to the behavior. Less negotiating. More movement. So here's how you apply it. First, pick one goal you keep thinking about. Second, identify the most reliable cue, time, location, or an existing habit. Third, write one if-then, Plan that is embarrassingly small, not write for an hour. More like, if I sit at my desk, then I write for 2 minutes. And fourth, add friction to the opposite behavior. Log out of social apps, put your phone in another room, make the wrong choice harder. Now, common mistake here, making the then too big. Keep it small. Small wins build the chain. You've already watched this far, so let me share the part that makes smart people squirm a little. Perfectionism. Fourth, perfectionism disguised as standards. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes you're not stuck because you're confused. You're stuck because you don't want to look bad. Perfectionism says, if I can't do it exceptionally well, I won't do it at all. So you delay starting, you delay finishing, you delay sharing, and you call it quality control, but it's fear control. Now, why does this happen? Because procrastination often isn't about time. It's about emotion. When a task makes you feel anxious, uncertain, or exposed, avoiding it gives you relief. Perfectionism gives you a smart-sounding reason to avoid the discomfort. Not ready yet. So how do you break it? First, set a version 1 deadline that is soon today or tomorrow. Second, decide your minimum publishable version. Ask, what's the smallest complete form of this? Third, use a 2-pass approach. Pass 1, messy and fast. Pass 2, clean and calm. And fourth, measure output, not mood. Ask, did I ship? Not did I feel confident? Because the common mistake is polishing before you've built. Build first, polish later. But that's not all. Because even if you ship, you can still feel stuck if you don't feel progress. Fifth, the small wins engine. This one is powerful, and it's quiet. You don't need a life overhaul. You need a daily win your brain can see. A small win is a tiny, visible step that proves you're moving. 1 workout logged, 1 page written, 1 outreach message sent. It seems small, but it changes your identity from stuck to in motion. And here's why it works. Your brain needs evidence. When you see progress, you feel safer continuing. Motivation follows momentum, not the other way around. So here's how you apply it. First, pick 1 win metric for the week. Minutes practiced, reps completed, graphs shipped. Second, set the bar low enough that you can't miss. 5 minutes counts. Third, track it visually. Calendar X's, a checklist, a jar where you drop a slip of paper each day you showed up. And fourth, do a 60-second nightly review. Ask, what did I move forward today? Common mistake, only celebrating big outcomes. Instead, celebrate movement. That's what your brain repeats. And finally, let's talk about the deepest trap, the one that keeps smart people learning forever, but changing never. 6. The identity trap. I'm the smart one. Now you might be thinking, but being smart is good. It is, unless you use it as a hiding place. If your identity is smart, you start avoiding anything that could make you feel dumb. Like being a beginner, like failing publicly, like awkward first attempts. So you stay in theory where you feel competent, and out of practice, where growth happens. So the shift is simple, but it's huge. You trade smart for learner. Because when you're a learner, you're allowed to be messy. You're allowed to try. You're allowed to improve in public. So here's how you apply it. First, start saying, I'm the kind of person who practices. Second, deliberately do 1 beginner action each week. Post the first video. Share the first draft. Attend the first class. Do the first attempt. Third, collect proof of courage, not proof of perfection. Keep a list of uncomfortable actions you did anyway. And fourth, after every attempt, ask, what did this teach me? Not did I look impressive? Because the common mistake is protecting your ego. The better move is protecting your progress. So if you felt stuck despite being capable, it's not a character flaw. It's a mental pattern. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1, stop waiting for perfect clarity. Number 2, don't confuse imagining with doing. Number 3, use if-then plans to auto-start. Number 4. Ship imperfectly. Perfection is fear. Number 5. Stack small wins to create momentum. Number 6. Trade smart for learner. Remember, the biggest transformation isn't you becoming more motivated. It's you becoming more movable. Imagine waking up tomorrow and taking action before your brain starts arguing. You have everything you need to get unstuck. Your intelligence just needs a steering wheel. Don't wait until another month disappears and you're still preparing. Start with one step today. Write one if-then plan and do the 10-minute start. I promise you, 7 days from now you'll thank yourself. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe for more simple, proven self-improvement tools, and drop a comment. What's your biggest smart person trap? Overthinking, perfectionism, or research rabbit holes? And if you want a full system for building discipline without relying on motivation, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.